You need to learn how to identify noun, verb, adverb, and adjective. So this is the basics of English language. So these are the basic word structure that you need to identify and use them practically, right? So how to identify them? Let's learn what are these. Okay, is noun, right? So in school, I think you guys might have learned that noun is a name of a person, place, things, or idea. Like for example, Australia is noun, right? And then for example, India is noun. For example, house is noun. It talks about the thing, right? It talks about the place name, right? So those are noun. So in PTE academics, there are certain things that you need to use so that you can identify the noun very correctly. So like if you put my or your or thus or this in front of that particular word, and if that makes sense, then that is noun. For example, let's say this house. See, so this house is making sense, right? So now house is noun. For example, let's say this one, this swim. For example, you say, in order to identify whether swim is noun or not, so put this swim. Does that make sense? No, right? So for example, the swim or your swim. If that making sense? No, right? So anyone, either my or your or the or this, if that makes sense, then that is noun. Okay. So now what is verb? So verb shows the actions or state of being of that particular noun, right? So noun is something that is person or place, whatever you call it, and then verb is the action of the noun. What noun is doing, that the action of the verb is described. Noun is described by the verb. For example, how to identify? Like for example, showing the verb, right? So like for example, let's say swimming. Swimming is verb, right? Eating is verb. It shows the action, right? But how to identify in a correct way? There's a way, right? Put I am and then that particular word and ing, if that makes sense, that is verb, or simply put to in front of that particular word, and if that makes sense, then that is verb. Like for example, let's say whether this is eat is verb or not. Now let's put this in this concept. I am eating. See, now I am eating. This is perfectly making sense, right? So now this is verb. For example, to eat. Does it make sense? To eat. Yes. Now this is verb. Like if you put the eat, does it make sense? No, right? So that's why it is not a noun, right? So now we learn about what is noun, what is verb. Now let's learn about adjective. So what is adjective? Adjective is something which describes noun. So now let's say it describes the quality of the noun. That is also one way. So like how the noun is, for example, boy, right? Boy is noun. So now how is that boy? Boy is good or bad? Let's say good boy. If you say good boy, then this good is adjective. Because why? This good is denoting the quality of the boy. So bad boy. So you say the girl, right? The girl is noun. So let's say beautiful girl. So if you say this beautiful is adjective. So adjective is nothing but that describes noun or that describes the quality of the noun, right? So let's learn what is. So now how to identify, right? So just put very in front of that particular word, and then if that makes sense, then that is adjective. For example, beautiful. Now you need to identify whether that beautiful is a noun, verb, adverb, or adjective. Now let's put very. See, very, you put very beautiful. Yes, makes sense. Yes, correct. Now this is adjective. For example, either way is put it is in front of that particular noun, particular word, and then if that makes sense, then that is again the adjective. Like for example, it is bad. For example, bad. So now bad, it is bad. It makes sense, right? So now bad is adjective. Like for example, it is. Let's see. Like swimming, right? Let's swim. For example, swim, if it is adjective or not, just put it is swim. Like let's say it is swim. Does it make sense? No, right? Very swim, for example. Does it make sense? No, right? So then swim or swimming is not adjective, it is verb. Okay. Now what is adverb? Adverb is a word that describes a verb or adjective or another adverb. So generally adverb ends in ly. Okay, so if there is a sentence where there is ly at the end, then that is adverb. Like for example, clearly, patiently, beautifully, respectfully, nicely, all those coming ly, that is adverbs. So there are other word rules also, like for example, very, to, always, never, often, now, soon, all those are adverbs. Okay, so this is how you're gonna learn how to identify noun, verb, adverb, and adjective. Let's quickly do recap. Let's say, for example, if you put the or my in front of that particular word, if that makes sense, then noun. Okay, quickly recap. Now you put I am dash 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 ing or to in front of that particular word, and if that makes sense, then that is verb. Okay, and then put very or it is, and then if that makes sense, then that is adjective. Like for example, very handsome. Okay, and then put, so, and for how to identify adverb in ly. Generally, if the word, if the spelling of the word that ends in ly, then that is adverb. Like for example, nicely. Okay, the example is like the or my, the noun. So the moon is noun, right? Oh, I am, like for example, eat, I am eating, or to eat, right? So very handsome and nicely, right? So these are the basic ways that you need to learn and identify to implement to identify noun, verb, adverb, and adjective. Quickly say, like what are their application. Noun describe the noun, person, place, things, right? So this verb describe the state of being of the noun, like what is the action that noun is doing it. So verb will describe. What is adjective? What is the application of adjective? It describe the quality, or it describe the quality of the noun, or it describe the noun, right? So whether noun is good, bad, handsome, ugly, or whether the state of being of the noun is determined or is defined by adjective. And what is the use of adverb? Adverb can describe verb, and adverb can describe another adverb, adjective, adverb can also describe another adverb, right? So all these three can be the application of adverb. Okay, so let's do the assessment question quickly. Teacher, what is teacher? Teacher, put the teacher, right? It makes sense. Just put two teacher. Does it make sense? No, right? So now teacher is now. Okay, quickly. Ly, adverb, right? Let's see. Run, to swim. Makes sense. To run. Makes sense? Yes. This is verb. Happy, very happy. So makes sense, right? It is adjective. Okay. Loudly. Ly. This is adverb. And then similarly, you can say loudly, right? And then kindness. See, kindness. Kind. He is very kind. Kind is adjective. Kindness is noun. Okay. So now, if you put ness in front of that adjective, after adjective, all this coming ness will turn to be noun. Like for example, kindness, happiness, forgetfulness. So all those coming ness at the end of the sentence, at the end of the word, then this will be noun. Okay. Or for example, the kindness, right? Let's say the kindness of president took us to a positive outcome. See, the kindness, it is perfectly making sense, right? So to right, then this is verb. Strong, very strong, right? Very strong. So this is adjective. So, and then similarly you can practice this one, right? So now is how to use that, right? What is the application, why we are learning it, right? So now let's learn the quick application of how this verb, adverb, adjective, and adverb works, right? So now let's say after a noun, verb appears. For example, he eats a pizza. See, this is noun, right? Noun, pronoun, whatever you call it. So after a noun, if there is a blank, then your eyes should go only to the option for verb. Generally, right? After a noun, generally verb appears. See, he eats a pizza. Similarly, before a noun, adjective can come, right? For example, boy. Boy is noun. Before a noun, the good boy. See, the geese, good. This is adjective. For example, when you are solving the blanks, there is a noun here, noun, and then before that noun, if there is a blank, then there will be a chances that it is a adjective, right? And then, like after a noun, adjective can also come. after is, are, am, where is used. For example, the beautiful girl. This is also correct. The girl is beautiful. This is also correct. See, after a noun, so this is noun. Before a noun, adjective can come, and then the adjective can also come after is, are, am. So the girl is beautiful. This is a noun. After that, it is, am, are is there, and after that the adjective can come. So right. So if there is, am, are, also you can see if there is a blank, adjective can also come. Okay, and then adverb come in front or after the verb. So adverbs generally describe verb. Like for example, he quickly eats. See, he quickly eats. So this is eats. This is verb. This is adverb. So it shows how he eats, right? And then he eats quickly. This is also correct. He eats quickly, also correct. He quickly eats. He eats quickly. Both are correct. So adverb can come before verb and after verb also. Like this is verb, and if there is a blank here, in both of the cases, if there is a blank, then you can see and look for the options if there is adverb. And then if there is an adverb, there's only one adverb, then you can put it. If there are multiple adverbs, then you need to understand the context, right? So this is how. So now adverb can now adverb will never come for a noun, right? So like for example, he is quickly. What? It doesn't make any sense, right? So adverb will never come for noun. Adverb can come for another adverb also. He is extremely good. And then adverb can come also for another adjective, like how good he is. He is extremely good. This extremely, it is denoting how good he is. It is saying how good he is. He is extremely good. So this is adjective, and then this is adverb, and then this is adjective. Right? So it can describe even verb, it can describe even adjective, right? So now another concept is how to form a sentence. Okay, so forming sentence is very, very important. Why? Because forming sentence, you need to use these skills in writing essay, in writing email, in writing summarized spoken text, in writing summarized spoken text, summarized written text, on all the cases, right? So let's learn how to form a sentence. So now generally sentence in English language, the sentence is formed with subject, verb, and object. So there should be subject, verb, and object. So even for example, the boy, this is a subject, kick the ball. If in this sentence the boy is the subject, kick is verb, the ball is object. Like for example, even if you don't want to put the object, if you want to remove this ball, even says the boy kicked, this is also the correct sentence. At least there should be subject and verb. Okay. Now, what are the type of sentences in English grammar? There are 4 types of sentences. The first one is you don't need to like memorize it. Okay, just sharing you for the sake of your skills. Declarative sentences. So like it states the fact, opinion, or idea. For example, I am learning English. So you are declaring something, right? So you state the fact, opinions. And then interrogative sentences, meaning asking questions. Are you coming? Right? So something like that, right? How are you? So those are interrogative sentences. And then imperative sentences, to give command or request. Like for example, please pass the salt. Please come here. Please go there. Please do this. Please study correctly. So those are the imperative sentences. And exclamatory sentences, to show the emotions. Oh, I can't believe this. Oh, this is so sad. Something like that, right? You show your strong emotions or surprises. That in that context, this is exclamatory sentences. You don't need to worry about it. The only thing that in PTE you need to understand only 3 types of sentences, because you need to use this type of sentences when you are writing essay, when you are writing email, when you are writing summarized spoken text, and then when you are writing summarized written text. Okay, so what are these? Now you need to write in English language, there are 3 types of sentences: simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence. So what is simple sentence? Simple sentence is the sentence which is one independent clause and which talks about only one idea. For example, I am teaching grammar. See, so this is only one sentence, right? So and one complete sentence. So now this is simple sentence, right? What is compound sentence? If you connect those 2 simple sentences with the fanboys or coordinating conjunctions, if you call it coordinating conjunctions, then that is called the compound sentence. For example, I am teaching grammar and I am listening music, for example. Music. See, if you connect these two sentences with fanboys, and now this becomes the compound sentence. For example, fanboys. So what is fanboys? F equal to for, A equal to and, N equal to nor, B equal to but, O equal to or, Y equal to yet, S equal to so. Fanboys. F A N B O Y S. So this is coordinating conjunction, guys, which will connect two different ideas to form one sentence. So for example, I want to go to the school and I want to learn English. See, so this is one independent sentence. This is another independent sentence. You put fanboys in between, and then it becomes compound sentence. She wanted coffee, but she preferred tea. See, this but is fanboys or coordinating conjunction. It shows the contrast, right? So now what is a complex sentence? So complex sentence is the sentence which is prepared by combining two things. One is independent clause and one is dependent clause, or you can simply say one cause or effect. What is dependent clause? Dependent clause is the clause which is dependent upon another ideas. For example, in this sentence, although it was raining, we went for a walk. Like for example, if you remove this, we went for a walk, although it was raining, then so what? This is dependent clause, meaning only this one will not make a complete sentence. So that's why you need to add two different ideas, one dependent clause and one independent clause, to form a sentence. So in that context, if you are forming the sentence by you doing this, then that is complex sentence. Although it was raining, we went for a walk. Despite not studying hard, I passed PTE, right? Despite going through the hard times, I still managed to earn a living. All those, right? Although it was hot, we went for a walk, right? So all those kind of things which consist independent clause and dependent clause, then if you form a sentence with this, then it is called a complex sentence. You can simply say cause and effect. Cause and effect. What is the cause here? Raining was the cause. What is the effect? Even we go for a walk, right? So in this context, so we use complex. Yeah. So now let's quickly do the assessment. I went to the market and bought some vegetable. What is the sentence here? This is compound sentence. Why? Because there is a fanboy here, right? So although it was raining, we decided to go for a walk. What is this type of sentence? It is a complex sentence. Why? Because we have dependent clause here and then independent clause here, right? And then she practiced the piano every day. So this is the simple sentence because there's only one idea, right? Although she decided hard, so she passed the exam. So fanboy. So this is already the compound sentence, right? So this is how you're gonna learn. Okay. Although the internet was done, I couldn't submit that. See, this is complex sentence because why? This is, and there's a dependent and independent clause. Okay. So now, fine. So now let's see the another concept called subject verb agreement. This is very, very important. This will help you to write grammatically correct sentences. Okay. So like, what is subject verb agreement? So if in the sentence, if the noun is singular, and if you are talking in the present tense, and for the third person, just put yes after the verb. Like for example, what is third person? I'm talking, right? I'm the first person. I'm talking to someone. Maybe I'm talking to you. In that context, you is the second person. Anything except I and you is third person. For example, house. House is third person. See, house, stores things. For example, stores. See, house is third person singular. So in that context, put yes, right? So the simple way is third person singular. Like for example, she is third person, right? Third person singular. She meaning only one girl. Now she runs. See, she runs. And then they, you are talking more than one girl, maybe two girl, or more than three girl, or four girl, whoever, whatever the number girl is. They meaning more than one. So this is plural. Now, if you want to say something in the present tense, then she runs, they run. So this is true only in the present tense, not in past tense, not in B2, not in B3. So run became a ran, right? Run became a ran. Even runs also became ran. Run also became a ran in the past tense. So what you need to understand is this is only true in the present tense, and then in the present tense, if the third person is singular, put yes after the verb. If not, then you don't need to put yes. That's the only concept, guys. Remember, this is only true in present tense, and the noun should be singular. So that third person noun should be singular. What is third person? Anything except I and you is third person. Okay, so this is the concept. Let's quickly do and one more concept, right? So subject verb agreement with the relative clause. So what is relative clause or intervening clause? Because it talks about the head noun or the control the verb, like head nouns which control the verb. For example, what is this? You need to match it, right? The building which hosts many parties, the building is here, which hosts many parties, is are. Nice. Which is the correct one? Either is or are. It is is. Is correct noun. Correct form. Why? Because we are talking something about the building here. The building is the head noun which controls the verb. See, the building. Forget about the parties. Even though the parties is plural noun, here the context is the head noun, or you can say the acting noun, whatever you call this, head noun is singular. That's why the verb should be singular here. What is the another example? My uncles who have a lot of cars. My uncle who have a lot of cars is very rich, because is. I may have more than one uncle, but I'm talking about that uncle who have many cars. See, here the cars is not a head noun. Here the head noun is uncle. See, that's why it is is. So this is how, there's one more example. You can do it on your own, right? So you remember the acting noun or the head noun which controls the verb. So this is also one of the subject verb agreement concept. If the noun is plural, put plural verb. Are. If the noun is singular, then put is. So that's how. Let's quickly do the assessment. She always walks to school. What is the correct option? She always walks. She always walks. See, she is third person singular, and then we are talking about the present tense. So she walks. The cat. So it's like she always walks. It's like she runs, right? It's like she runs. The cats. It's like they. Now the cats is they. They chase. Right? Like they run. Remember the concept. My brother likes. My brother is like she. She likes. See, singular, right? I enjoys reading mystery novels. I is first person, right? So this subject verb agreement concept will not apply here. So that's why I enjoy. And then they visits their grandparents every weekend. They visit, because they is plural. It rains or rains. It rains. It is singular. That's why rains. It rains every day during the monsoon, right? So this is John and Sarah walks. John and Sarah is like they walk at the same company, not walks. They walk, right? So this is how you can do your own. So let me quickly test the understanding of subject verb agreement, and then also the understanding of noun, verb, adverb, and adjective. I'll give you 2 minutes, guys. So now let's solve this blank. Okay, the new city development project shows a significant progress. The government believes that after this, what comes? Noun comes. Now you need to identify noun here. Develop is noun? No, it is verb. Development, it is verb. What is development? Development, it is noun, because put the in front of that noun, it is development, right? The development. Developer is also noun. Developing is verb. So now we know that the noun should come here. Now the only option for you is development and developer. Now you need to read the context. The new city development project shows significant progress. The government believes that this developer, no, right? We are talking about the whole process. That process is the development process. So development is the correct one. Will benefit local communities. Okay. It is important to plan to avoid future mistakes. Now what will come here? So what is this plan? Plan is verb. So before and after verb, what comes? Adverb comes. Now you need to identify adverb here. So now what is adverb? Adverb generally ends in ly. So just look at the options here. How many options are there? There are 4 options. Among these 4 options, what is adverb? Careful? No, it's not an adverb. What is careful? Verb. What is careful? Careful is noun, right? What is care? Care is verb, right? Carefully, ly, ends in ly. Caring is verb, so ly. So now just you can put option here. To plan carefully to avoid future mistakes. Or dash. Design park. See, design park. This is also verb here. Now you need to identify adverb here. So adverb will come which will design or which will describe the verb. So now what is adverb? It's in ly. So ly, only beautifully. So this is also one of the concepts here. And then now children play dash while parent relax nearby. Children play what? So now play is also verb now. After verb, what comes? Adverb comes. So what is adverb here? How many adverbs are here? Happily, sadly. Two adverbs are there because happier is not adverb, happiness is not adverb. So happily and sadly. What comes here? Children play sadly. Does sadly comes? No, right? Because here the correct option is happily, because if children plays happily, then parent will relax nearby. That's why you need to read the context to identify. So children play happily while parents relax nearby. So for this one, you guys can solve on your own and then write it in the comment section so that I can check your answers and let you know.